Andrea Lati and I are back with a third quarter 2015 update on trends in the semiconductor and semiconductor equipment markets. Conditions have worsened since we first warned in the first quarter of 15. In our update, we said dark clouds were forming over the electronics industry. When we came back in Q2 last July, we upped the warning again, saying that the dark clouds had now blown over to the semiconductor and semiconductor equipment industry. We talked about the memory glut and DRAMs at the time and more. This October, other analyst organizations have chimed in with negative forecasts for 2015, and they're all talking about gluts and DRAMs, making it a blue-chip consensus of negativity. So in this third quarter 2015 update, we're going to talk about where it's going and what were the early warning signs for this thing that we saw. And we're going to have a conversation with Andrea Lati. He's here again, and he's one of our analysts at VLSI Research and one of the most respected equipment analysts in the world, forecasters. This is WeVision, and I'm Dan Hutcheson. Welcome to the program, Andrea.
It's good to be back.
So, we've seen this situation in recent weeks where the forecasters have gone to the dark side. Some of our compatriots out there, colleagues that are also doing forecasting, on October 21st, IC Insights has issued its first negative forecast of -1%. And then 2 weeks earlier, on October 9th, Gartner had issued its first negative forecast, and they were calling for 0.8%, so it's all really close. So, and they're forecasting an oversupply in DRAM that's going to last into 2016, and both organizations pretty much put the blame on DRAMs, China's economy, and the strong American dollar. Now, back in July, 2.5 months before then, VLSI had issued its first negative forecast under the title, "The Bear is Back and Ready to Pounce." So, what did you see back then?
Well, there was general weakness. We're looking at our weekly data that you put together every week, the semiconductor sales, which is part of the semiconductor analytics. And if you look at the trend there, they were all pointing down. All the weekly indicators there were also down. And then another big clue for us was the CPI, which was crashing actually, starting at the beginning of second quarter. And I've seen that scenario playing out so many times over the years. Mm-hmm. So anytime you see the CPI sort of falling at 2% or more per week, you know that you have a glut out there, and you know that pricing is going to be very weak, and eventually you're going to see companies starting to cut back in order to bring supply and demand closer together.